Hello Bibliophiles and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed and hit the bell to be notified of when I make my next upload. So to returning viewers, I'm going to start out by apologizing because it's been over a year since I made my last video, and I know in that last video I was like, oh hey, I'm gonna be posting again. Obviously I haven't, so I apologize right now. Also, disclaimer, this is the second time I've tried filming this video. The first time I forgot to turn the microphone on. So if I seem a little confused or I keep pausing, I'm like, I've already said this. That's because I have already said most of this. This video is going to have very minimal editing and it's not scripted, so I apologize ahead of time. But I'm going to get back into things with a book haul. Just like the last video where I said, hey, I'm gonna be posting again. So we'll see how it goes. So we're gonna start out with a Star Wars book because I'm wearing a Star Wars shirt. Anyways, so this book is called 40 Stories Celebrating 40 Years of Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back from a Certain Point of View. Also, disclaimer for this video, I haven't read most of the books that I'm about to be showing you because I'm bad and haven't read much lately. I have been reading, just not as much as I should have been. But anyways, this book is by 40 different authors. I will not be reading all of their names. Here's the cover so you can see it. But this book is showing off 40 different points of view of The Empire Strikes Back, as I'm sure you could probably infer from the title. And it took 40 different authors to write these different 40 points of view, which I think is really interesting, and I'm very intrigued by it, which is why I got it, because I'm kind of interested to see how they tell each of these different points of views, because I'm sure you're thinking, oh, you know, there's one story. We all know that, well, we don't all know the one story. Most people know the one story, but you know, you don't know every angle of the story, like the random background characters. Those are the people that they're giving voices. However, they do also, as the cover shows, give Yoda a point of view. And so just different things like that, I'm kind of interested to see how they go about showing these different points of views. I've said point of view so many times, but that's the point. Point. But regardless, that is the first book in this book haul. The second book is, this is in a different order than the last time, so I'm a little discombobulated, but this is Unbirthday by Liz Braswell. This is part of the Disney Books Twisted Tale series. This is the only book I own and probably the only book I'll read of the Twisted Tale series, just because I'm not that big of a Disney fan in terms of like the Disney princesses and the classic Disney movies, but I do have a particular spot in my heart for Alice in Wonderland, particularly the Alice in Wonderland book. So I honestly don't even know if I've seen the Alice in Wonderland movie, but I do love the Alice in Wonderland book, which led me to want to purchase this because I'm very interested to see how they twist the story further than it's technically already twisted, because if you look into the deeper meaning, as some people would say, of the original Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass stories, there's actually a lot of cool stuff that is actually giving it a lot darker of a meaning than just being like a happy kid story. I won't go too much into that since that's not what this video is about. Regardless, this is Unbirthday by Liz Braswell, a twisted tale of Disney's Alice in Wonderland. The next book is a duology, so it's Ready Player One and Ready Player Two by Ernest, Cline. Ready Player One, other than Alice in Wonderland, is probably one of my favorite books. This is the first time I've actually owned a copy of the book, so I'm very happy because this is the cover that I wanted. But Ready Player 2 just recently released. I'm kind of skeptic about how good Ready Player 2 is actually going to be, because I thought Ready Player 1 was fine as a standalone book, and then I heard, oh, they're going to be releasing Ready Player 2. Wonder how that's going to go. So I'll probably be posting a review of Ready Player 2 at some point in the future. It might be on my Instagram, which is the official bibliophile. But yeah, Ready Player 1 and Ready Player 2. Then another duology. We have Courting Darkness and Igniting Darkness by LaFevers. I don't know much about these books beyond look how pretty these covers are. That's not why I have them. Technically they were a gift, but they are, I don't know. I do remember that when I initially read the summary for the book, I thought, wow, that sounds really good. But mostly now it's just, wow, look at the pretty covers. So books with pretty covers. Again, review will probably go up on Instagram at some point after I get around to reading it. Who knows how long that'll be, but I will do my best to get that out relatively soon. Next, I have To Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini. This book, I know this author from the Aragon series, which is somewhere over here, but this is a sci-fi book. I haven't looked much into the author beyond the Aragon books, so I don't know if he has any other publications beyond this and Aragon, but I was very intrigued to see that he had gone from writing a fantasy series to writing a sci-fi book. So that's kind of what drew me in. Also the fact that this book is signed drew me in. That always gets me. But yeah, so I'm very interested to see Paolini write a sci-fi book. I think it's also an adult novel, not 100% sure on that fact, whereas I think Aragon was meant for teen or young adult. Next up, I have a standalone book, which is The Hive by Barry Lyga and Morgan Baden. I know vaguely what this one is about. It's a sci-fi that kind of reminded me of 1984 when I read the inside summary. And so that drew me in because I keep saying, one of my favorite books. 1984 is another one of my top favorite books. I had to read that for a class in freshman year of college, and I was like, wow, this is actually pretty interesting. I mean, there are parts of it that are pretty weird, but I really like the concept of it, and this book reminded me, or like the summary, I haven't read the book, the summary of this book reminded me of 1984, which is why I have this one. Next up is Girl, Serpentthorne by Melissa, and then there's her last name because I will not be able to pronounce that. So I am not 100% sure if this is a standalone. Don't really know. I probably should have looked that up, but I'll put the message across the screen now if it's a standalone or not. But so this is as of what I know, a standalone book. But this, again, I don't really remember why I liked it. The cover's really pretty. You know, that's something about book marketing. They say never judge a book by its cover, but covers really do a lot, because if I see a book with a pretty cover, I'll buy it. So that was Girl, Serpentthorne. Next up I have so Zero Repeat Forever and Cold Falling White. Technically I got Zero Repeat Forever 3 or 4 Christmases ago, and I read it 3 or 4 years ago, and I didn't know until recently that there was actually a sequel to the book. So this is the newest book. I just wanted to put them next to each other for viewer convenience. I don't know. So this is the first book and this is the second book. So I do remember really liking this book, but before I read the second one, I'll reread this one and then read this one. And so if I do post reviews, I will probably be putting this one first and then this one, just so that I'm not just reviewing the sequel to a book without doing the first one, because sometimes there's spoilers in the second book of what happened in the first book and whatnot. So then the next thing I have is another duology, which seems to be a very popular theme among authors more recently. There Will Come a Darkness and As the Shadow Rises by Katy Rose Poole. I'm not even going to try to remember what these books are about, but I do remember that they are fantasy and that they sound very good. I should probably have done more research before making this video, but you should get these books because I'm sure they're really good. Okay, really great. So, last but not least, we have Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. I left this one for last for this video just because this is the book that I most recently posted about on my Instagram story, the official bibliophile. You should go follow me there, even though I don't post anything, but you should still follow me there. Anyways, so Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. I actually plan on reading this book within the next week or two and posting a video about it crazy. So this is the disclaimer that I was mentioning at the beginning of the video. There's a very good chance that I might not be posting anything for the next couple of months, but my plan is to have a video up about this book within the next week or two. I know technically I posted about this book a couple days ago and said within the next week, but I made this video instead of reading this book. So this book video, this book might have a video within the next week or two before I go back to college, hopefully. If not, I apologize in advance. I say things and then I don't do the things I say. But regardless, this you might see a little bit about sooner or later. A little bit of information about it, as to why I'm relatively excited to read it, is because it's a King Arthur legend inspired book, and I really love the whole King Arthur retelling books. I think they're very fascinating, as I'm interested in the original legend, and I think all of that is quite interesting. I'm actually minoring in medieval history, so there you go. Little fun fact about me. I like medieval history. But regardless, I'm showing you this book again because the cover is actually really pretty. But there is that book, and I'm going to stop this video before I ramble anymore. But thank you so much if you've made it to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. And I'm sorry for not having posted in such a while, and I'm going to apologize in advance just in case I don't make a video for a while again. But making videos is fun, and I really should do it more often because it makes me happy, it gets me energized, and not when I forget to use the microphone to record the sound for the first time around. But I think this one's gonna, I don't know. We'll see. Again, I apologize if this video was a bit jumpy because I'm trying to do as little editing as possible because I want to get content out. So yeah, thank you so much, and hopefully I'll see you soon in the next video. Your next adventure awaits. Bye!